Alright, that's better. Hi, welcome to New Cook Kitchen. My name's Eva Katz, and today I'm going to be making a delicious sweet potato and kale salad with a smoked paprika and peanut dressing. It's really a unique take on a kale salad, and I hope you love it. So let's get going. We're going to be doing a couple different things. The first thing we're doing is we have some sweet potatoes that we're going to roast, and then we'll get to the kale part afterwards. So, well, let me peel this first. I'm going to peel my sweet potato. You can see the shape of this sweet potato is pretty roly-poly. See that roly-poly? I am going to take a little edge off of it, flatten it out, so it's not going to go anywhere. All right, it's way more stable. Now I need to cut this into 1-inch cubes. I'm going to start by cutting this into a plank. Pretty shape. All right, I'll cut these. Doesn't matter if they're completely evenly cut. You have the shape of the potato you're dealing with. All right. I have my oven preheated to 425 degrees. I like to roast these vegetables at a really high temperature so I can get some nice browning. It doesn't take all day, and I like to spread them out. So first thing we got to do is season these little babies. Some salt. I use kosher salt and some freshly ground pepper. Then I'm going to take my vegetable spray, and you don't really need a lot of oil to kind of get this job done. A little spray from vegetable spray is good enough. All right, I want it on one layer. I don't want it all bunched up. It'll end up steaming. I like to spread it out. Okay, and give as much space as possible, and into the oven it's going to go. It takes about 30 minutes, and I'm going to toss them halfway through. All right, let me set my timer. 15 minutes. Now, the next step of this salad is the dressing. This dressing, what makes the magic of this dressing is the smoked paprika. The combination of smoked paprika, crushed peanuts, and sherry vinegar is delicious. So delicious. It's different. It's something like, wow, what's that flavor going on? It's really unique. It's really evocative. I have 2 cloves of garlic and some shallots and olive oil. So we're going to make our dressing first. Now for the peanuts, I could use a knife to chop these, but even better is just to crush them. They crush really easily. Not all nuts do this, but peanuts do a great job of just simply crushing under a little pressure. You could use the bottom of a measuring cup. But this works working really well. So they don't have to be completely even. This is sort of a rustic salad. I just want to kind of get a rough chop. All right. So I'm going to take half of my peanuts and put it in a mixing bowl. And this is the bowl I'm going to make the salad in. So it's okay. It seems like a large bowl to be making a dressing, but I'm just trying to save myself dishes by making the salad dressing right in the bowl that we're going to toss the salad. We're going to save this for later on. All right, so I'm going to add some smoked paprika, a tablespoon and a half of sherry vinegar. That was 3/4 of a teaspoon of paprika. And I'm going to put a couple of cloves of garlic. And to get the peel off the garlic, the easiest way is just to smash it. The peel comes right off. Use the back of my knife to kind of make a paste out of it. You can also use a garlic press if you want to. I really do want this fine. So a garlic press would be a good tool for this job. All right, so there we go. And I have one shallot that I've diced, and I'm going to do a second one. Cut it down half, remove the top 2 layers of this shallot, just like you would an onion. It's just so hard to get that one layer off, so it's much easier if you go for 2. All right. Just slice it, dice it just like I would an onion. Okay, so put a little salt and pepper. And twist this around. Just whisking my oil. 3 tablespoons of oil. That's it. All right, now for the kale. So I'm using these dinosaur kale, Tuscan kale, whatever you want to call it. It's the long, skinny kale. You can use curly kale, you can use baby kale. If you do use baby kale, you do not want to do the massaging step, which is coming next. So I just need to take off this rib, which is super fibrous and really hard to digest and eat. Not pleasant at all. So I'm just taking my hand, running it down. There you go. Just running it along the rib, and the leaves fall off. Pretty easy, huh? I have a pound of kale here. All right, now I'm going to take my kale. I'm going to bunch it up. And chop it into bite-sized pieces, about 1 to 2 inches. All right. Okay, so this goes into the salad with the dressing. Okay, and now I'm going to toss it with my hands, and I'm going to massage it. This is a key step. So what you're doing with this step is you're breaking down the fibers of the kale in the same way you would if you were kind of cooking it. So you don't really need heat to get the job done. And you have to sort of put in a little bit of elbow grease to get this. Takes, I don't know, it could take up to 5 minutes. So maybe we'll come back in a few minutes when I've had my alone time with my massaging my kale. And yeah, so I'm just cleaning up. And you can see I massaged my kale for a few minutes. And one of the other things about what happens at this process is it really becomes super dark green. It's beautiful. It's just like glistening. And there's only 3 tablespoons of oil in this dressing. A lot of kale recipes, I think, go overboard with their salad dressings. I don't think you need a lot, especially when you're massaging it. You know, like you're in there, you're getting it covered. You're getting full coverage with like minimal amount of dressing, but it's super powerfully flavored. So we're not skimping on flavor. We're just sort of skimping on some of the fat. I love adding pickled elements to my cooking, to my food. Like I just think pickles make your food taste better. Pickled onions, pickled peppers, chilies, pickled radishes if I'm making tacos. So today for this salad, I pickled some red and green chilies. I've got some Fresnos and some Serranos in here that I thinly sliced, and I just put them in with the seeds. And I have one that I'm going to do. Quick pickles are really just, they're ready to go once they kind of cool down. All right, so once they're cool, you can eat them. Hot pickles don't taste so great. So we have a half a cup of distilled vinegar. You can use any vinegar you want, but I don't see any reason to use expensive vinegars. I have a half a cup of water. I have 2 tablespoons of sugar, and I have a teaspoon of kosher salt. You can pickle. This formula is good for just about any pickle. It's very simple. You bring it to a boil. Once it comes to a boil, you add it to a jar with your vegetables and you cover it, and once it's cooled, it's ready to add some flavor to your food. I love the fact that this gives me sweet, sour, and heat, like in a little precious bite. So it adds like huge amount of layers, depth of flavor to the salad with the sweet roasted potatoes and the very vegetal, kind of earthy kale. Okay, so my liquid has come to a boil. I am going to pour this on. You can make more elaborate pickles by adding bay leaves and mustard seeds and coriander seeds and black pepper seeds, but this is just really just super simple, super quick. And after it cools down, you can cover it, put it in the refrigerator, and it will last for weeks. Okay, these are looking nice and brown. Very nice and brown. You could let them cool on the sheet pan if you want to. If you're not going to serve this right away. I happen to really love the contrast between the cold greens and the warm sweet potatoes. So I am going to actually go for it. All right, so let's go ahead and platter this salad up. This salad will hold up for a couple days in your refrigerator, so if you're batch cooking, this is not a bad recipe to do that with. You just like portion them in little containers and they hold up. It holds up. How many salads, like green salads, hold up? Very few. This is one that does. All right, so I've got my kale salad and sweet potatoes. Oh my God. There was a few extra ounces of sweet potato, I will say, but who wants to get rid of like a quarter of a sweet potato, right? So spread these out and we're gonna sprinkle the rest of those peanuts. And I've got my chilies, my pickled chilies. You can put them on whole if you want to. I'm just gonna give it a rough chop. Put as little or as much as you want. If you like the look of this recipe and you want to check out some more, go to our website. I'm Chef Eva and this is New Cook, and see you soon.